heard he's tracking the syndicate.
Yeah, last I heard he was 3 over par.
Last I heard, sounded like someone torturing kittens.
Last I heard, my gym makes money.
I heard 5.
You heard wrong.
You heard him. Those were his last words.
I'd heard he'd been defeated again.
Last I heard, Joe coaches women's wrestling.
POTUS is awake?
Yeah, last I heard.
I heard that.
You heard that?
Last I heard he lived around here somewhere.
Last time that I'd heard, you had,
Welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen, to the Last I Heard podcast. I'm your host, Lee Dempsey, along here with the Gridiron Gang, Travis Rankins, Josh Winch, as they join me as we talk about the National Football League, wrapping up Week 11, getting into Week 12, all the news, all the picks that you want to hear about. News upon the NFL. Nothing too tragic, I would say, in the hearts of some, but a few affected. So let's get into it. Dear Jets have fired GM Joe Douglas. Reports that his owner wanted to bench Rodgers at some point weeks back. It's just minutes ago from our very own Travis Rankins. What are your thoughts on that news right there? That took me back when he said that.
Dumpster fire.
I mean, honestly, what comes to mind is when Pat McAfee was on his show back in March of 2023. And I believe it was with Ian Rappaport, and they were talking about Joe Douglas and Gutekunst being smart guys, blah, blah, blah. And then McAfee's like, well, we know Joe Douglas is smart. We don't know that Goody's smart. Well, it looks like Goody was the smart one and Joe Douglas was not the smart one. So saw that on Twitter going around all day today or yesterday. That was pretty cool. But overall, it is a dumpster fire. And I don't know if that's going to really help the situation. I mean, I just don't know what happened to the Jets' talent. Like, they're supposed to have all these guys. Remember Sauce Gardner? You guys, Josh, you were huge on Sauce. I feel like he's non-existent now. What has he done?
He's regressed
Is he
a lot.
Sauce anymore?
I mean, we talked about it when Saleh got fired. He's kind of the glue that held that defense together, and now they can't stop anyone along with an offense that looks inept. So they've spent a lot of money and invested a lot. He's actually, Douglas has done a decent job with his drafts. If you look back, Wilson, Sauce, that's a great draft, looking on paper. There's some other picks that he's made over the last few years that, up or down, but for the most part, GM success is dictated on the draft, and he's done pretty well at that. The problem is they have shit-ass coaches, and they have a team that's run by a quarterback. So until Rodgers leaves or retires, this is what they're going to have to deal with.
So what happens next year? Does Rodgers stay? Is he gone? And more importantly, what about the guy that was like, I want to go to a contender, so I'm going to go with my buddy again, and I'm going to get traded to the Jets, and now you're in the exact same position you were with the Raiders. What's going to happen with these two?
They'll run it back and hire a new coach that they want. That's my guess.
I don't think so.
That's mine.
I kind of am leaning towards, like, let's give Rodgers everything that he wants at that point, and it's like the last piece was the coach kind of thing, and he'll bring someone in, and like you said, they'll run it back. Probably
they'll make an excuse like that. Yeah, they'll make an excuse like they didn't have the whole offseason to gel. Like that's what we're gonna hear.
But I'm curious who's gonna take that job. It's just going to be another bump.
Some young,
it's not going to be
offensive or defensive coordinator that wants an opportunity.
Someone who's really going to have the opportunity to show what they can do, even because they're limited by Rodgers, like a Matt LaFleur situation. It's like
they're better with Zach Wilson under center than they are with Aaron Rodgers under center. So I personally don't understand why you would run this back again when you know it's never going to work. I'm sorry. You can try. It's never going to work. Aaron Rodgers, you need to retire. You are done. You can't lead it. We can put up with your fucking shit and your drama as long as you're winning MVP. You're not even an average quarterback right now. There's no way it works. There's none, zero, zip. So I hope it's back so we can just run this fucking soap opera all over again. I can't wait. And then it's going to be the same shit. And who wants that job? Like you said, who wants that job?
Who wants either job in New York?
Rex Ryan.
Job. Yeah, Rex Ryan. He's ready for it when it comes back. Speaking of the other New York team, Daniel Jones being benched. And this is my worst. I'll jump into that part. I won't do my best yet so we can get through the news, but my worst is just the Giants. The Giants in total, you have a quarterback that you aren't going to play because you have to pay. You aren't going to play his backup because if he plays well, then you have to pay him because Drew Lock's whole entire contract is basically incentives, and they're all doable right now. It's like if he plays 60%, he gets like $500,000. Like he's just building up his money if Drew Lock plays. So they're like, well, do that either. So we're going to put in Tommy DeVito. Daniel Jones is QB4 on the roster because they're like,
he's out there playing safety.
Yep.
Go out there and our three quarterbacks could snap their legs in one game. We throw in some wide receiver at quarterback for the rest of the game. And then on the off time, we're going to go sign another quarterback because no way is Daniel Jones stepping on the field again this season, no matter what. Because they're like, how many tens of millions of dollars?
He had a written statement that he read. And I listened to that and I'm like, wait, did they cut you? Like, what do you mean? Like, you're just off the team? Because he read it like, my time with the Giants was great. And I'm like, wait, you're done? Did they cut you?
Well, he knows.
Well, yeah.
Hit the stat of the weekly. I got one for you on our boy Daniel Jones here. So, Mr. Highlight Film himself, Saquon Barkley, who, if you don't remember right, is on the Philadelphia Eagles, has more touchdowns in MetLife Stadium than Daniel Jones does this season. That's your stat of the day.
That's incredible.
Whew.
And that's why he's playing safety.
That GM has to go next, too.
That whole team has to go.
I think it's got to go. Just clean
both New York
over.
organizations just start over.
Everything you can for whatever. I mean, you thought they were kind of doing that anyway. Last year, letting guys go.
They got Malik. They got one guy.
Yeah, they got the one guy.
Build
the rookie.
Around him.
Got 4 years to get shit right until we got to pay this guy. Granted, they're paying probably just one guy anyways right now. Dexter Lawrence probably, and that's it. I don't know. I'm trying to think of who is really getting money on the Giants, and I feel like Daniel Jones as well. But anyone else, they probably have a ton of money to spend if I were to guess. So
yeah, they do.
The draft, and then spend when you have hope.
They got to get like a Ravens GM or something like that. Someone that can actually pick some fucking players. Both these New York organizations. Get someone who actually knows how to pick a player in the 4th round, for God's sakes.
They need to be they need the Eagles drafted so well. Nasty. Brock Purdy and might not play. Also per Travis Rankins here.
Please, Purdy.
Has a PCL injury. So how severe is that, Travis? Does that come out as like he's not going to play, or is he just like day to day every day?
That they finally released like an injury on him. Like usually it's just, oh, it's a quad or it's a knee, or they just never say what's wrong. This is like the first time they've said this, and apparently this has been going on all year, and that's what he was hurt with earlier in the year, and he re-aggravated it in the first 10 plays that he played in the Bear game, I guess. So sounds like multiple weeks, but it's not season ending. That's what I'm hearing. So I'm guessing he'll be out 3 or 4 more weeks, and that's just nothing new. I'm ready to move. I'm ready to move to Cup 8, move on. Great player when you play. You never play. Your best ability is availability, and I'm sorry, I get it. It's a tough sport. Get it. Well, you shouldn't fucking make that much money though. I don't care. You just can't be injured for every big game. Every big game he is injured for. And I'm over it.
How many years are left on his contract?
I believe next year.
Okay. All right. So that's a solid time to get
I believe.
Yeah. It's just that one, trade him in the offseason and follow that penalty dead cap space or so
yeah, trade him to like Jacksonville or something. They'll do it.
Right.
Well, they're in talks with Bill Belichick apparently.
He ain't going there.
I don't know. All these coaching rumors, like especially the Dion stuff to Dallas, you're
that would be sick. That would be sick. Dion to Dallas would be the best combination, and then he gets Shador. Boy, but that's like a 0% likelihood of any of that happening.
That's like Herbert getting traded to the Vikings on draft night.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like that's too. The money doesn't add up.
They just got the number 1 quarterback recruit in the nation to flip to them today.
I saw
Michigan.
Well, Colorado and Michigan. Underwood is the guy that went to Michigan. Yeah, and they're both 99s or 98s on the ESPN 300, so they're both really good prospects. But yeah, I mean, I don't think Dion's leaving. He loves it.
So what do we got? We got the Jets going to be with a new coach. Does Cleveland fire the coach of the year?
They're going to keep him one more year for sure.
There's no way they can.
Year. Like, Stefanski is a good coach. He just got screwed with that Watson deal, man. Like, it's like, and
that is the all-time worst deal of all.
Yeah.
I read an article they'd have to pay $192 million to cut him.
They won't. They can't cut him.
192. The worst cut of all time was Russell Wilson. It was 82.
You have to keep him for another 2 years at least, probably. I mean, I guess I don't know which way the money is flowing. If it's more front end heavy or back end heavy, but so most likely you'd have to keep him for at least 2 years until you can cut him.
Does Jacksonville then fire Doug Peterson? Yes.
Not fired. How's he not fired? I thought Monday, I was like, all right, they might wait till the Monday night. So the week is officially over. So Tuesday morning, I'm like, Doug Peterson's getting fired. Like, I'm like, that's the lock of the day right there, you know? And nothing. Like, doing? What are they holding on to?
Vegas, are they going to fire?
Some bread.
Just some bread?
Yeah, he threw up in the car today, so.
Ooh.
Buddy.
So, Vegas?
Keep him. Keep Pierce.
Yeah, you got to keep him. They just officially signed him this year, though. Like that's
I like what he's done. They don't have any talent on that team.
Quarterback. They need a real quarterback. So
Cam Ward.
Yeah, I was gonna say Cam Ward. I thought was gonna be the early guy to go there. Year. And yeah, they just need a lot of draft pieces.
Yeah, I want a black and silver jersey.
Go that far.
Dallas gonna need a new one. Giants gonna need a new one. The Bears will probably need a new one.
That's 5, like we'd say locks.
New Orleans.
I don't know if they do.
What do you mean?
They haven't been there.
Hire him.
2 games. He's 2-0.
Great.
Sorry, I was thinking of guy they just fired. What was his name?
Allen. Something Allen.
Dennis Allen. Yeah, I keep getting him.
And then got Riz. Riz is their new guy.
Okay. So
now
6.
There's rumbling Kyle Shanahan.
No way.
That'd suck. I think that'd be dumb. I think that'd be like a Vrabel situation where everybody's like, "Why the fuck did you do that?"
But it is true. What are they? They're just never. It's like the Andy Reid situation with the Eagles right now. I feel like
they're not gonna get rid of him.
Be a shocker, I think. But I mean, I do get the reasoning behind it because it's you're good. You're real good. Just not good enough.
But they're gonna have to unload this off season, so it'd be kind of
this is their last year. They're done. They're not gonna be good.
They're not gonna be good, but they won't have as much talent. Like they'll have to get rid of Debo, maybe Kittle. They'll keep Trent Williams.
Wait, didn't they sign Debo? No.
Mm-mm. They signed Ayuk and Jennings.
Signed Jennings.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Traded, yeah.
That was the play there, Lee.
Chuba. I like Chuba. I'm doing well with Chuba, so that was a good trade.
He's a dog.
Love Chuba. So that's great. So yeah, that was 6 blocks, I would say, right now. So crazy. That you can put that down on paper already. Coaches.
Maybe Todd Bowles.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Sucked, man. They're just an injury team, you know? Like that's what sucks. Like Todd Bowles isn't a great coach, you know, nothing like really stands out about him at all, but to get hit with the injury bug and then have that kind of be the main reason, like you got Godwin out for the season, Mike Evans got hurt for a significant amount of time, so it's like, I don't know, a lot against them.
He just reminds me of Tony Dungy, where he just literally doesn't do anything. He just doesn't say, just sits there. Or Caldwell, right after Tony Dungy. Like literally no emotion. I just don't like that. I don't like that.
It's probably good for Baker though, because Baker's the opposite.
I like emotion. I don't know. It makes me feel like you're alive. If you're not emotion, like what the fuck? What are we doing here?
You make up for a lot of people.
I know.
Right. Do we have any other news? I think that wraps up the news. Worst of the weekend. I already touched upon my worst, the Giants. Best. And I can't believe I'm saying it. And I loved watching the game. Chargers are my best.
Yeah.
They went down at the end of that game and won the game like they just perfectly. If it was all last year, Brandon Staley was still the coach.
Lost.
No way they win that game. Like that was just great. Ladd McConkey getting a great catch. Like I was like, that's great. That's what.
Who's got it better than us? Nobody.
Yeah, dude, that was a fun game to watch. That was exciting, and I just was happy for the Chargers to finally just execute of not do the lack of their coach. That it was always just hung up for the last few years on Staley just choking it away. It was awesome. Best and worst. Who's up?
I'll do my best. I'll start with the team down in with the Mardi Gras city, the New Orleans Saints, 2-0 under interim coach. The Riz is what I'm going to refer to him as. The team's just playing inspired. It's a fun team to watch. Taysom Hill, god damn, I wish I had started him in fantasy. Woo, boy. What a week.
I had him.
Yep, me too, in 2 leagues. Didn't start him in either.
I did start him.
Nice.
Because Kittle was hurt. I had to put someone in. It was the last second. I put him in, and boom, 41.
Oh.
Whoops. Whoops.
Fell into greatness there.
My other team or best of the week was the Detroit Lions. I know they're playing Jacksonville, but holy fuck, can this team do what they want to do on offense? They just looked like they were playing around in the backyard and just having fun in that entire game. Their injuries are catching up with them a little bit on defense, which is concerning. Anzalone got hurt. Most likely will be out the regular season. But their offense, holy shit, is fun to watch. Montgomery, Gibbs, St. Brown, Laporta, Jameson Williams, they got weapons everywhere. Hell of a performance, 52-6. Worst of the week. The Bears fucking... What are you doing? Are you fucking kidding me? You can't win a game that's handed to you on a silver platter. God, I hated that so much, but that's the Bears. I expected it. Secondly, the goddamn Cowboys. This is my 3rd week in a row having the Cowboys.
Put the Cowboys down.
On my worst of the week.
Bears, the Cowboys, the Jets.
You can't. Okay, so you can't even. You can't score. You can't stop anyone from scoring, and now you can't even open your fucking roof.
PG, back to PG here.
What a horrible franchise!
Yeah,
my God,
that was the sign.
That was so embarrassing.
Right we got panels falling from the ceiling when we tried to open our roof for the first time in 2 years. They said, I think it was.
Yeah,
yeah.
Just close it back up.
And they're like, "Oh, let's close it. See if that, the whole roof doesn't cave in." Like, it's crazy. It's crazy.
What an embarrassing franchise. Jesus.
Tear down Jerry's world. Jerry will die. They tear down that stadium. Everything changes overnight. Like it's like brand new stadium. This one won't fall apart. It might be $5 billion this time, but we're gonna have it face the right direction. Won't have a it opens or closes. It'll just be there. Like just out. Just
take the Lambo approach.
Crap.
We got no roof.
Just take a sawzall around the whole roof and just take it off. They need to do something, man. It's crazy.
Man, they are just 3 weeks in a row on my worst of the week. That's impressive.
I had to stop myself from doing it. I was like, no, I'll pick the Giants. I'll pick the NFC least really showed up this year. Like,
yeah, it was a good game at the end for the Eagles and Commies. I think that'll be a good division rivalry, but the other 2 teams are just dumpster fires right now. Trav, what do you got?
All right, my best of the week is the Buffalo Bills handling their business against the Kansas City Chiefs this past weekend. It's about time that they get a win. They seem to be able to do it once every blue moon in the regular season. However, they're not going to do it in the postseason. I'm pretty sure the Chiefs will get them back, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is.
I don't know. That's what it
I'm just
means.
gonna have a mental episode there. But yeah, Josh Allen with the run of the century to finish that game off and cap it off, and Jim Nantz said that was the play of the year. I think he is leading the league as far as MVP goes right now. So Josh Allen, good job, kudos. Regardless of Josh shaking his head no, that's my MVP right now. And he put the team on his back and said, follow me. Honorable mention, best. The Packers special teams actually made a play, and they actually won a game. It's a miracle. I have no words for that. I will say a cool tidbit about that. LaFleur said in the press conference afterwards that Bisaccia the night before said that we are going to come away with a blocked field goal in this game. He kicks it low, and we're going to either get an extra point blocked or just a normal kick blocked, but we are going to block a kick. And it just happened to be the last kick of the game and to win the game. My worst of the week is the Chicago Bears. You had that game won. I mean, I was sitting there going, wow, we just lost to the Chicago Bears. However, when you decide that, from the 30 that you're just good, you don't want to move the ball up any further. I'm not saying they could have got 10, 15 yards, but I mean, to just be like, we're not going to run a play. There's 30 seconds left. We're not even going to run a play. We're just going to let it run down. Like, what are we doing? Like, you should never take that for granted. Like, you just think you're going to make the fucking field goal it's a 46-yard field goal. This isn't just like from the 3-yard line. Like, I just don't understand the decision making there. Like, get the ball closer, make it easier for your kicker. He was kicking low in that game. You could see it. And then he does that. I mean, I was shocked, but you can't take those things for granted. And I just don't understand how coaches are so fucking stupid. Like, that's because they're the Chicago Bears, though. He was probably worried, like, man, if I do run another play, they're going to fuck it up somehow, or they're going to fumble it, or turn it over, or something's going to happen. And then he'll be a scapegoat for that. But no, dude, you can't play scared. You got to go play to win the game. You play to win the game.
That's the second game this season the Bears have lost on the last play of the game.
And it wasn't even the last play that lost it for him. It was the play before that on both of them. Because they didn't run one, and then on the other one, they let the guys run the ball or run the play to get them in position to do a Hail Mary. Otherwise, they would have never even been in the end zone.
Yeah, they'd be 6-4 instead of 4-6.
Just coaching right there. Yeah, to touch on that, I was really surprised. I didn't watch in that game just because the Vikings were playing at the same time, but I knew that game was still going on, and right away, I heard through some highlights that were coming through halftime and stuff, like kind of what was going on in that game. But I figured at some point Packers would run away with it at some point. Yeah, and to bring it up probably for like the third week in a row, I turned on the live stream of Barstool with all those Bears fans in it. And I literally turned it on, and they're like, all right, well, we got a kick. We got a kick. This is a make-believe kick. I'm like, oh my God, I'm turning on for the last play of the game. This is crazy. And to see their reactions, terrible for them. Like, honestly, every single week, and I listen to their actual exclusive Bear podcast too, just to hear their pain week in and week out. And I feel so bad for those fans for how terrible that franchise is, and just trash.
They're terrible fans. Any remorse? I hope they get everything they deserve. No, they're the worst fan base ever. They sit here and tell me suck because I'm a Packer fan and the Green Bay Packers suck. No, you guys suck and you can't beat us, so you have to sit here and say these stupid things. Like, at least acknowledge we're your daddy. Like, come on. No, I will never. No, they're scum. They're like Cubs. They are Cubs fans. Duh, it makes sense. The sickest individuals in the world, besides. Never mind. I'm not going to go there. I won't.
Yeah, I know where you were going.
Side of the country.
Yeah, we don't need to go there. I know where you're going. And then I'll give kudos to the Packers.
Oh, that was one of my best too. The dances. I love that.
Christ. The blocked field goal attempt, no push off either. Like, I was looking at that when it happened. I was like, dude, did these guys push off of the top of the backs at all? No,
it looked just like that Chiefs game.
Yeah, it was
penalty.
like, what's that?
They say it was a penalty.
Yeah,
No, that
I
wasn't
didn't
no
see it at
penalty.
all. I didn't see any push off anyone's back.
Is because they touched the center, and you can't touch the center or the long snapper. Yeah,
Nah, I mean, you could look at most rushes and someone's hitting the center, not
I mean,
hitting
right.
them like head on, but
Like just
yeah.
no
I don't know if
contact at all.
that's a rule now. Like you can't. They actually had a call against them, I guess, earlier this year when they blocked one because of it or something. But Van Ness did push in the back the guy to get him up a little bit more. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
Again, I don't think there's really much to it. Like it wasn't really a penalty. Like it shouldn't be a penalty. If it is a penalty, whatever. But they missed a penalty on that drive that was even more obvious that they didn't call. I don't know if you saw that. It was on like it was like 3rd and 4 on the last drive, and DeAndre Swift totally false starts. Like literally, I'm talking like he goes like this. He goes, and then he stops, and then he's like, oh no, and then like people even thought it was like a dead play, and they never called it. It was one of the worst things I've ever seen. Like, how do you miss that? Like he literally went like this.
refs are missing face mask penalties on Sam Darnold for 4 weeks in a row. Like it's pissing me off so much. I see it once a week now, and I'm like, dude, his face is getting caved in, and nothing's getting called whatsoever. Like it's fucking batshit crazy because it seriously. I think everyone's turned into like a game ender or a pick, and it's like, dude, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah,
you gotta call that shit. Like someone has to be looking at it. But last kudos I had for the Packers though. The Packers social media, they said never apologize for a win, which is something that White Sox Dave from Barstool said Washington game when they thought he had it all wrapped up. He said, I'll never apologize for a win, and then they lost. So that was a great troll move by the Packers social media right there. I love social media trolls.
Me too.
the problem though I had with Sunday though, I'm having guys like, okay, so it's the middle of the second quarter, and people are like, this is a horrible game. Like it wasn't even actually the middle of the second quarter. It was like the end of the first quarter. We're up 7-3. I thought everything was just going fine. Like sure, our defense gave up some yards, but we allowed a field goal only, and we scored a touchdown. We were up 7-3, and then we're driving again, and we're about to take the lead 14-3, and then Jordan Love just airmails a ball and just throws a pick in the red zone. Like you can't do that, and that was the turning point of the game. Otherwise, we easily win that game. But that interception changed it all.
Inconsistently consistent.
Yeah. But other than that throw, he played very good. He only had 13 completions, 270 yards, though. Very efficient.
Yeah.
And Christian Watson always balls out against the Bears. He was my pick to click, and he clicked. Impressive performance by him.
Did he catch that one?
Yeah. I mean, it looked like his hand is under the ball. I mean,
yeah, I thought he did too. There's a lot of debate about did his hand get under, all that shit, but
I never saw the ball hit the ground. I'll say that. Definitively, never saw it hit the ground. It was an impressive catch. That dude's a speedster, and I love him.
Another one, availability or what is it? What'd you say about Jair?
His availability.
Yeah, that's his same thing for him.
So far this year, knock on wood, he's only missed, I think, 2 games, 1 game. Pretty good for him. And it hasn't been the hamstring.
To our power rankings, shall we? Right, our power rankings here have got a little updated, got a little shaken up. This week we really had some big hitters move around, and I'm finally going to give credit to where credit is due, where you guys had talked about them last week. I took my number 2 team off the board entirely for this one. So top 5.
Is that the 5. Ravens?
Yeah. Number 5, I got the Steelers making their appearance up there. Getting it done, knocking down one of the more guys there, dogs. So I was very, very impressed with that. The Ravens defense played decently in that game, though. It was a low-scoring game, so it was a nice battle to have it close at the end of it. What was that?
It was like 18-16?
Yep.
Yeah, I was going to say, it was pretty damn low. 4, I got the Chiefs dropping down one spot. They're still very good, But just to get that last movement there by Buffalo, Josh Allen's efforts, that really put a stamp on Buffalo can beat good teams, and I was happy to see that, definitely. 3, I got the Philadelphia Eagles moving up. Team is just dominant team. They're just getting everything done. Saquon Barkley was the greatest thing since sliced bread to them, and kind of thought after last year, it's like, yeah, this is a good team. Their weakest part of their entire team is their coach, you know. So they've still won like 5 in a row now. So they're getting it done.
You should have seen the Pat McAfee with was that what's his name, Schmidt? He was acting like him, and they had, like the next day when they whooped the Dallas Cowboys, and he was,
Hi.
I don't know why people are, we're 8-2, and you just play the people on your schedule, and doesn't matter if you win by 20 or he like was talking like him, and he's on the he's in the interview too. Nick, and then he brings up Dan Orlovsky, and he's like, "What does he know? He had a record of 3-22, and he's talking all this shit about him." And then Dan Orlovsky, I see on Twitter, was all butthurt about it, like, "Okay, interesting." And then someone said something to him like, "Aren't you going to respond?" Or he goes, "No, screw those guys," or something. I'm like, "Oh, is there beef here or what?"
Orlovsky's irrelevant.
I know.
I was hoping he was going to be something, different out of ESPN, and he's not.
He was for a while, and then I was
he's
like,
a square.
You're just a shill. You're just a little.
Yep. Whatever they tell you to say.
Yep.
Exactly. And that's what is 1000% wrong with ESPN. It is just you got to say the Disney shit that you
tell
want to
me
say.
what to say and how you want me to say it.
One I really can't stand.
The Bill Burr comedy right there
was Mina. Cannot stand her.
Yeah. I
gotta
watch
watch that black and white special again.
No, I don't watch ESPN like at all. I really don't. Like the only time that I see,
I watch it when football games are on. That's it. That's
like when
watch the Eli Payton podcast thing or whatever they do.
And I can't stand that shit anymore. Like the celebrities on there that they have, like they're not even talking
Bill
about football.
Belichick.
Like I want the expert opinion about what you see and stuff. I want to see 2 quarterbacks that have been in the league for, decades to tell me what they see in a play. I don't really want to see like, oh, we got Julia Roberts in here and she's going to pitch her new movie. And like, I don't care. Who cares? She's just going to be like, I'm not even a fan of these teams. Like, I don't watch football. Like, that ruined it. That ruined it. Like having the celebrities on there. They shouldn't have done
that. For a goal?
Home run, right? Yeah, like it's just terrible. I don't want to see that. So it's just ugly program they got out there. Yes. What I say? Number 2, yeah, Bills. I got up there just making an absolute name for themselves, beating a good team. Like I said, they really need to do that to prove something. Done this in the past against the Chiefs. Yes, it's been pretty 50-50 in the regular season, but to Travis's point, Chiefs have had their number in playoff times, and most likely will have it again this year. If I were to put money on it,
they'll probably be going to Arrowhead.
Now, number 1, still at the tippity top, the Lions, the Detroit Lions. Jared Goff completely bounces back after the 5-pick game, and looks like that game never even happened. But of course, still win. This game, that team is just, I don't know, indestructible. It seems weird to be like, yeah, they're going to the Super Bowl, and I want to know who they're going to play in the Super Bowl and who in the Super Bowl are they going to kick their ass. Like, I want to know who that is. It's just crazy. They're just too good. My top 5.
I like your top 5, Lee. I got the same 5 teams.
Me too.
And 4 out of the 5 are the same ranking as last week.
Nope.
So I kind of predicted this. Chiefs fall down to 3, which is where they were last time. Predicted they would lose. But let's start at the top here. Give the flowers to Detroit Lions. Lee's right. Best team in the NFL. How you stop them, I'm not sure. Especially that offense. The defense has played pretty well for, they got 3 guys, I think, that have 4 interceptions or more on that defense this year. They're obviously down their best player in defense, so the defense doesn't give enough attention. Offense, I mean, Gibbs, Montgomery, St. Brown, you got Laporta. I mean, they're just stacked. Goff distributing the ball. So with the best offensive line in football, that's going to be a tough team to beat in the playoffs. Number 2, circle the wagons, get the fucking man MVP. Josh Allen. Let's go. Chiefs at 3. Don't want to talk about them. They suck. Number 4, I got the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay.
I just don't want to waste my energy on them. Pittsburgh Steelers. This team is the team I'm most surprised by this season. I did not expect them to be 8-2 right now, and they're about to go 9-2, beating the Browns tonight.
0-0.
Yeah, they'll win 3-0. That's their classic game. Doesn't matter. Like, they win ugly. They win how they need to win. Doesn't really matter. They win football games, and I feel like they've created a culture there with Russ and even Najee Harris, who I do not like, has rebounded a little bit this season. Ayuk Pickens has looked like a splashy number 1 when he can get the opportunities. And that defense, I don't know who can score on the defense. They just played the Ravens and gave up 16 to the Ravens, number one offense in the league. So this team's going to be tough to beat in the playoffs. And then at number 5, I got Philadelphia. This team is really surging, though, up the rankings here. I like their defense a lot. Their offense scares me with Jalen Hurts, but as long as they just turn and hand the ball off to Saquads, they'll be good. Jalen is just like you throw a magic 8 ball in the air and see what happens. Sometimes he just makes plays. I'm like, what in the fuck are you doing? But then he'll make plays. They're like, how did you do that? So he's just unpredictable, but the team is loaded. Talent-wise, they just have. I love their picks. I love what they've done to develop this team, and obviously they're rolling through the NFC East. So that top 5 is tough, man. Those are some heavy hitters, and I know the Ravens just lost last week, but that's a tough team too. This is going to be a fun playoffs on both sides, so looking forward to it. But that's my top 5 of the week.
Rusty threw a nice bomb, by the way.
Attaboy, Russ.
Saw that. My top 5 is basically all 5 of the same teams, just a little different order here. Won't take it too long here. 5, Eagles. Yeah, Saquon Barkley is the heartbeat of that team, and he's a beast. They actually just put that move into Madden. How dumb is that?
I was going to say, that was my other best, was that. It's just Saquon Barkley. You got to do it just right. But damn, I said that week, I was like, you can't even do that in a video game. And then bam, they're like, we got to do it.
Number 4, we got your Pittsburgh Steelers playing right now. I have them in the top 5, but I don't really consider them a top 5 team. I mean, yeah, they're playing like it right now, but I don't really think they're a threat to win the championship. But I'm very surprised. I didn't think they'd win 9 games this year. I didn't think they'd be 500. I thought this was the year they would not finish 500. So kudos to them. But I still don't really think they're really a threat. I know they have a top defense, but that offense just, I don't know if they got enough. Number 3, we got the Buffalo Bills. Obviously,
what are you putting the Chiefs above the Bills? Who they wait? Didn't we just talk about this 3 weeks ago? Wait. Let's run back the footage.
Wait.
Didn't the Ravens lose to the Chiefs and you gave Lee all that shit for like 2 straight weeks? Wait a minute. And now you're about to rank the Chiefs above the Bills? Didn't they just play last week? Isn't it who wins on the field that matters most?
Just wait.
Isn't it who wins in the field that matters most? Let's just play back. Let's just play back 2 weeks ago. Hold on. Let's insert that clip right here.
Number 2, I got the Detroit Lions. They're not going to be number 1 until they're number 1.
Jesus Christ.
Right? Detroit,
cut this guy off.
Beating up on a team that's like a minor league team. Good job. Congratulations, college football team.
The one that the fucking Packers had to kick a game-winning field goal against? Is that what you're talking about? Oh, okay.
That one.
Okay.
So Lions at number 2. I'm playing pretty scary football right now. I'm a little worried. I'm a little concerned. But I think the Packers have enough to beat them, so I'm not really that worried. Especially when we play them there. I think we're better actually there. We proved that last year when we played in their Super Bowl, their Thanksgiving Day game, and we whooped their ass. Yeah, remember that? Yeah. Number 1, we got the Kansas City Chiefs because, I mean, until you take them down, you're not going to move them off at number 1. Sure, they lost last week. They're still 9-1. They're still the best team in the league. They still have home field advantage. They're still going to play every team at home, and they're still going to win every game in the playoffs. So they are number 1 still. And until they lose in the playoffs, they will be my number 1 team. They're probably going to lose, one more game this year? They might not even lose another game because their schedule is pretty weak.
Imagine that. NFL wants them to win all of them. I already got my beef out. What a joke.
What a
Yeah, we got number one, the Chiefs, Lions, Bills, Steelers, Eagles, baby.
Perfect meme. I already wrote down while you're talking. I got the meme that I'm going to post about this conversation right here already. That's wow. What a bomb.
Ooh.
Ridiculous.
We'll see who wins the Super Bowl.
Hi.
Hey, what's
Hey.
up?
Night night.
Going night night. Steph Curry, night night.
Everybody. Very much.
Ooh, false start on the Steelers. I got to kick another field goal here. It's going to be a little bit longer.
Here we go.
He doesn't miss.
We're watching live.
We're going to do it live.
I'm just still shocked that you have the Chiefs at number one. What
You really shocked?
Yeah, after 2 weeks ago, the reaming he gave.
Don't say it. Hold on. I'm behind you.
He made it.
He made it. Damn it.
Boswell don't
Look
miss.
down on the play.
No. This was the second
Just way
one.
behind. Or is that what
You're
it
way
is?
behind.
Oh, gotcha. I thought that was a second field goal attempt with a flag. Okay, that makes me feel better.
Then Mike
All right.
Tomlin's very upset. You're going to see him swear on the
What happened in the Ravens-Chiefs game?
Ravens-Chiefs game.
The Ravens, right? Isn't it?
Won.
Yeah. What happened in the Bills-Chiefs game?
The Bills won.
So I'm confused the difference between the two.
That's why
I don't get it.
Upset last week when I put in that
I
logic,
don't
and then
get
he
it.
breaks his own logic he's made.
Yep. That's classic Travis. And we just need, if someone could just give Aaron Jones the ball. Just run the ball with Aaron Jones. Okay, I'm over running the ball with Aaron Jones. Let's just throw the ball more often next week.
By the way,
I love that. We got to get some of these segments like clipped together.
to mention, one of my best of the week was Josh Jacobs. That dude is a fucking man amongst boys. Did you see him going like this to one of the defenders? Like, come on, let me hit you. Let me hit you.
Come
Bam.
on, boy.
Sit down, little boy.
That's that Raider grit.
I was going to say, that was Joe Mixon touchdown. Like,
That was so nasty. That disrespect.
I love that. I love Joe Mixon.
Doesn't move to get in it, and then he scores, and then gives him that little boy thing. Oh my god, that was great.
That was awesome.
The disrespect. I love it.
He's something.
Let's get into some pick'em updates. You gotta pay race. We got a pick'ems update here, and we got some bad news here. Keeps gaining a spot on me every single week.
Great news. I'm going crazy. I'm going crazy this week though, so it's either going to be good or bad.
This week, there's too many easy ones this week. I don't know if it's going to happen.
No,
it's gonna be like
a disaster.
I'm picking against the indicator in like 3 or 4 games.
Yeah, I wish we didn't have the indicator on there. Like there's a CBS one that I do with some guys at work that doesn't have that, and I was gonna switch us to it. I don't remember why I decided not to, but
yeah, too many apps.
I just don't. Yeah, I wanted one app. That's why I was like, I just want CBS one.
Yeah,
that's it. And I can do everyone that way, but also not having the indicator of which way people are swaying it and all that jazz. Because I think it's just like manipulates the way I'm thinking. So I do my picks on the CBS one first, and then I just match it on the other one because I'm like, I don't want that to even slightly influence what I'm picking.
It actually would do the opposite sometimes when they're all on one team.
Yeah, I like for some reason in my head I'm like, yeah, that's,
obviously not like
that is
Panthers.
too easy. You know, it's just yeah.
Yeah.
I'm at 118. Josh is at 112, just 6 behind now.
I'm
coming, boy.
As I know, is 94, I believe.
DQ.
I don't
We're
know.
not gonna just leave it at that.
Hand that belt in, boy.
Regretting not putting a year on that sucker. I really shouldn't have done that when I gave it to you.
Right? Yeah, they hand it over.
That was foolish. But hey, we're gonna just put tape over it and make a new.
That's fine.
Every year.
We'll figure it out.
There it is, right there. You can't really see it.
You got that Griffey thing I see every time, and I'm like, damn, that thing's nice. That thing's nice.
It is.
For our Week 12 buys, we got the Falcons, Bills, Bengals, Jaguars, Saints, and Jets all this week. This is a big one, folks. I think we got buys up until Week 14, I want to say, is our last round there. But we got 5 games on the schedule for you right now. I think we're going to start off with the Vikings at the Bears. Was tweeting at me or Xing me today, whatever the hell you want to call it, about a potential upset feeling that could come out their way, and wouldn't surprise me at all. The Vikings kind of had a more of a bounce back week last week. I was definitely more pleased with their play overall. Played fairly well. Offense played fairly well. It's like that's a good recovery game, except for the Bears making the statement that they did against the Packers. They weren't getting blown out for once. Like it was a close game. Came down to that field goal block, and I definitely think the Bears are a threat to the Vikings because the Vikings are the third best team in the division. So beating the Vikings just once out of 2 times last year, I think they could do that again this year. So need to take the Vikings just because they're just cohesive team. I wouldn't say better on paper by any means. And the quote of the podcast: we don't play on fucking paper. So picking the Vikings. Vikings here, 27-23 over the Bears.
Yeah, the guy that we were in on with that conversation, dude. That dude's like he used to be on Milwaukee radio, and I used to go at him on Twitter. And he was like a big Rodgers dude, and I was always like, dude, no. So we'd always have banter back and forth and whatnot. He's on MGM Tonight now, or Bet Now, MGM Live, whatever it is. He actually was 19-5, though, in his last 24. He's doing pretty good. I actually follow him for college picks a lot, so he's actually won me some money this year. So at first I was thinking he was like saying I was throwing shade at him. I'm like, I'm not saying that's a bad pick. He's like, oh, I know. I was just saying fade me because I'm 19-5. It's about to go the other way. 5-19 now, probably.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm too chicken to pick the Bears here after that loss. That's a tough loss. Where is the game?
Chicago.
In Chicago. Ooh. I think that defense for the Vikings will do enough to stifle Caleb Williams. He won't be playing against fucking backups and backup corners like he did here. So give me the Vikings to win this game. It's going to be another like low scoring kind of like the Packer game. I think it's going to be like 23-17.
Yeah, Caleb Williams is not the man. So he'll throw 2 picks. Darnold looks pretty good against this D. I think he's going to go like 3-1, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. I got the Vikings going into Chicago and walking out of there with a win. I'm going to go 28-17.
Browns on the move here.
They're pushing. Down behind you. You watch it on TV or I got it up on my phone? I suppose you're recording on your phone, aren't you?
On the TV, but it's on like a Roku or whatever.
What kind of? Are you have a TV on your floor?
No, it's like a stand type of thing.
Okay,
like,
I was like,
it does look like you're kind of looking down at.
Yeah, like I'm like, what are you looking at? It's Pornhub down there.
Yeah.
At the same time. All right. We got the 49ers in Green Bay against the Green Bay Packers. Man, I want to watch this game. Is this a noon game or is this later?
3:25.
You're going, right? You're going to be there. I think you're looking for some companionship to go with you. Yeah. So listeners, Travis here. I think Trav brings the mojo here with him. I think the Packers pull this one off. I don't have too much insight on it other than just the gut feeling of Packers. I feel like it felt good coming, out of Chicago with that win. They don't feel as good about it. You know what I mean? It was too close, almost embarrassing close because it's the Bears. We're their daddy, blah, 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 all that stuff. So I think they're really going to show out their guns this week. I think it's going to be a higher scoring game, hopefully. And I think the Packers pull this one off in a close one against the 49ers. I'll probably go 28-27. Another last second field goal by your boy Nuts from Jags.
McManus?
McManus, yeah. The McManus.
Brand?
McRapist?
All right. Well, with that being said, Packers will be without Jair Alexander. We already talked about the PCL injury. Huge loss there. Edgerrin Cooper did not practice as well today. I don't think he'll play. He has a hamstring injury. So that means that Quay Walker's going to have to be on the field way more, which, I mean, he already is on the field a lot, but it sucks, and I hate him. And I'm already done with that experiment. I'm also done with Lucas Van Ness. I'm also done with every first-round pick we've ever picked pretty much on defense. I'm just over all of them. They're not good. They're not good. Lucas Van Ness, you're not good. You don't have moves. You are one-dimensional and all of that. Sorry, getting off track here. But I just had to let that out. Sorry.
Damn.
With that being said, I think with the injuries from the Niners and all that, and I know their backs are against the wall and they need to win, but they've been having their backs against the wall. They had a fucking a divisional rival game last week and they couldn't win. They blew it. They gave up a fourth quarter drive, last second drive to Geno Smith. Not acceptable. If no Nick Bosa, if there's no Purdy, Packers in a fucking landslide. But if those guys play, be closer, but I think the Packers still win the game. I'm going to go Packers 27, Niners 23.
All right, boys. Now for the real take. Lee, you can hit that lone wolf button.
Since we hit that sucker, granted,
it has.
All kind of goes by just who did it, because I don't like doing a lone wolf when it happened to be the first person that said it. That is fun.
I got the Niners going into Lambeau and walking out with a dub. I feel like the Niners just own the Packers. When's the last time the Packers beat the 49ers? I can't even remember, man. It's just the Packers can't. This is their arch nemesis, and I don't care if it's Purdy. I don't care if it's Jamarcus Russell playing for the 49ers. It seemed to not be able to do anything against this team. So this is the game I actually like CMC to come back and look like CMC. I expect 2 or 3 touchdowns from him in this game. I don't foresee any way that the Packers stop him. So it doesn't really matter what the Packers offense can do, because I feel like the 49ers are going to outscore them. This might be a little bit of higher scoring game, especially if Purdy plays. So I'm going to go 31-28. Niners walk out of Lambeau victorious after they lost last week in a heartbreaking fashion, and the Packers won in a miraculous fashion. It always seems to reverse the following week. So I like the 49ers here. Get the dub, break Travis's heart, and make me happy.
I thought with the Vikings winning last weekend and the Bears, I was like, that kick, I'm like, that's the perfect weekend. Yeah, when the Vikings win and Packers lose, and it just never fucking happens. It fucking breaks my heart.
That's so nice, Travis.
What? No, an itch. A fucking itch on my
The next game we got here, we got the Arizona Cardinals in Seattle against the Seahawks here. Oh, man, I never liked the Seahawks, ever. And I don't even care. They're kind of like full losers, I would say, nowadays. They do all right. You know, they got that win last week. That's big, but don't like anyone on that team besides probably the wide receivers. But other than that, everyone else, I don't care. They just don't. Don't do it for me. Oh, and the Cardinals. Maserati, Murray. Like, it's just like that offense is high potent and can do some damage. And I truly believe that that is enough for that team to win against games. I think the Seahawks defense is strong enough, powerful enough to really put a real damper on Cardinals. So I'm taking the Cardinals here to win against Seahawks. And I'm going to go probably a little lower scoring game compared to the other ones. I'm going to go 23-17.
Games in Seattle. I'm going Seattle. That's all I need to know. So it's going to be 20. It's going to be like 30-27. Seattle wins it on a last second field goal and win it 2 weeks in a row on the last drive of the game.
Yeah, this one was a tough one to pick for me. I really like what the Cardinals are doing with their offense. I think I mentioned it 2 weeks ago with their ground and pound style that they've adapted. And now they have Murray doing play action and rollouts and bootlegs off of that. So just for the pure dynamics of their offense, I feel like they're going to be hard to stop for Seattle. And their defense is kind of scrappy. They don't have a lot of big names on their defense, but they play well. So I like Arizona go into Seattle, walk out with a win. 28-24.
We got up here is the Eagles play against the Rams. So they're flying over. Look, what was that look, Lynch? You don't like that one? You don't like that one? Is that a scary one for you?
Trap game.
Trap game, really? Okay.
I worry about them. I mean, what do the Rams have to lose? Their offense is...
Well, they're 5-5. They got a lot to play for. I mean, that division's 5-5, 5-5, 5-5,
Yeah.
6.
That's what I'm saying.
Eagles are just dogs, though, man. I mean, they just extend drives. Like they play the long game on you for sure. Like it'll just be not over quick, with them when they're on
it's
the
hard
side.
It's hard for me to trust Hurts, though. It's just
true, 100%. And I think if Saquon isn't going, which he has this year, but if he's not going, then Hurts, it could be pretty limiting, just based on his abilities. Granted, he's had some injuries with AJ Brown and stuff, and some guys or tight ends have stepped up when need be. Very impressed with Otter, but the other guy, I always forget his damn name. It's something funky. He comes up when the moment is needed for him. So I'm still going to give the Eagles the edge here. I do think it's going to be a very close one between Puka and Cup, who are just like dominant when they're on the field together. I mean, it's just nuts the numbers they put up. I'll take the Eagles here. I'm going to go a little higher. I'm going to go 28-24.
They need to start calling penalties on the Eagles for those tush pushes because they're doing it illegally. And then when we do it, they call it, and they don't ever call it for the Eagles. Like, they don't line up correctly at all. It's such an illegal play, and it's not even fucking football. I fucking hate it. It is the dumbest shit ever. This isn't rugby. With that being said, I'm going with the Rams. Okay? Rams are going to win at home. They're going to go to 6-5. The Eagles are going to lose, and we're going to hear all about, next Sirianni needs to be media. With that being said, it's going to be Rams 24, Eagles 20.
Yeah, this one was really tough for me to pick as well. I think it's going to be a higher scoring game. I'm going to go 34-28. Eagles walk out of there victorious. I don't trust either defense. And although, if you guys haven't watched, NFC Defensive Player of the Week. Last 2 out of 3 weeks. Mr. Cam Kitchens. If you're not familiar where he's from the U. And he's a rookie. He's balling. They called him Mini Ed Reed when he was at the U. So I'm not going to praise him that way because he's got a long way to go to get there. But he's looking good for the Rams. He's playing well. Last week he had a INT, a fumble recovery, and a couple tackles. So good game. Anyway, man, I don't know. Barkley's just the X factor. That guy's just tough for anyone to stop. I feel like every week he's putting up 2 touchdowns. So he kind of makes up for the Hurts inconsistencies. I feel like they're going to get in there, get a win, kind of lock up the division. That NFC West is going to be really interesting, especially if the Niners lose at Lambeau and the Travis, if your picks kind of go down here, they'll all be within 1 game of each other. So that'll be really interesting going on the stretch here with not very good records.
Yeah,
so only one gets in.
I'm glad that the Rams didn't decide to sell at the trade deadline because it was just
kind
of like
they got talent. They're fine.
Open. Yeah, they were another one of those like injury bug came around early in the season, so it just made them look not as good. People were like, "Oh, Rams suck," and like Packers beat them, right? And it was like I don't think they had Cooper Kupp or Nakua in that game, if I believe that correctly. So it's like, yeah, dude, they were pretty beaten. And like Tutu Atwell as your 1 and 2 for those games, and that's not ideal.
They can put up points with the best of them.
And like Kyron Williams, like not as productive as he was last year, but still an absolute dog who could have a monster game any day. So it's they're an impressive team. I've never thought I'd be one of those like guys who likes the Rams, but I really like the Rams. Like they're just like it's crazy. They went from this almost Yankee type feel with them before when they're just trading picks, getting these big names, these huge contracts, to now they're just like, we drafted every one of these guys and Stafford obviously and still making a name for themselves. So they're pretty underdog-esque and I like it. I like that a lot. Just change their uniforms one more time, maybe I would like them even more. But other than that, they're just so ugly on the field. I just hate that color. To the Ravens at the Chargers here. It's coming all the way across. They're gonna get up earlier for their game. They're gonna get tired from the flight. They lost a big one against Pittsburgh last week. Just think the Chargers are doing things right. They're just doing enough things right where they can be the Steelers this week again with a better offense. Coach, I'll say, I don't know. We got the Hardball Bowl here, right? This is part 3. This is a big one here. This is a statement game in the family. Who's got better than us? I don't know, because we'll see. We're gonna see on Sunday is that Monday night game or Sunday? I don't remember. But we're gonna see who's got it better. Yeah, Monday night. We're gonna see who's got it better. We're gonna see. It's gonna be one or the other, and I'm pumped for it. But Chargers. I'm going Chargers all the way. I like this team. I'm definitely biased as hell. I love me some Herbert ball, and he throws the prettiest ball in all of the land. So I'm going with them. I like everything they got going on right now. They keep the train moving. I'm taking the Chargers 24-17 over the Ravens.
It's crazy what a difference a coach makes when you actually are coached well and know what you're doing and put your guys in position to win games. It's in LA. Yeah, I'm going to go with the home team. Chargers are going to get this win. I think Harbaugh makes a statement game here, and Chargers are going to be one of the top tier teams moving into the fourth quarter of the season. I feel like that's hard to believe that it's almost that fourth quarter of the season already. Oh my God. Feels like it just started, but give me the Chargers to win this game. It's going to be a black and blue type game, bruising each other up, knocking each other out. Chargers are going to win this game 23-20.
I wanted to take the Chargers so bad because I believe in them, but the Ravens are coming off of a disappointing loss, and it's a primetime game. Lamar plays well in these type of games. I feel like they have to win this one, just to kind of like stick it to them a little bit. John to Jim. Other than that, I mean, I love the Chargers. I hope they win, honestly. I like that team a lot. To your point, Lee, it's a fun team to root for, cheer for. I mean, you got Dobbins, who I think should be the comeback player of the year. You got Herbert. I love that guy. You know, that defense is bought into what they're doing. I love everything they're doing, and I hope they can make a playoff run. I just believe the Ravens need this one more to kind of prove a point of like, yeah, it's nice. You got a good story tale thing going, but we're still the Ravens. So, having said that, I think it's going to be a hell of a game. Kind of a grinder of a game. 24-20. I got Ravens victorious.
Oh.
Got a few of those. I told you.
Like it. I don't like
it.
I'm
going up and down.
On a couple of these leads for these pickups.
That belt will look real nice right here.
If I get second place for the third year in a row, I'm gonna fucking lose it. Oh, God, the most Viking thing ever. We got some big football games this weekend. I know there's some lackluster ones, like Chiefs over the Panthers, kind of thing like that. That stinks. Hopes and we got the entertaining ones. We got one right now. Browns Steelers ahead with the ball, so it's
nice.
I don't know, it can go any way. So I'm excited though, especially for the NFC North. The games that are going on, I think those are big. I think we'll have a great football weekend as we always should. And with that being said, I suppose that's the last I heard.
Peace.